From wondering if I even wanted this game to spending 20 hours a day playing it, this is Satisfactory, where today I will be progressing from a small, basic factory into something insanely intricate and massive alongside my friends. However, this is our starting point, and it's not bad, but before we get started, I am currently trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers, and if you could help me get there, that would mean a lot to me, and thank you guys so much for watching. Last episode was our first day playing this game, and we got all the way from the very base stages of the tutorial all the way through to Steam Power, which I felt like was a lot. But then I realized what had taken us an entire day to get 50 smart plates, we now needed 1,000 of, as well as 1,000 of something I had never seen before, and 100 of something that would be even harder than both of them combined. That being said though, really the only way is forward. So, the first order of business today is to get more power to the base, because yesterday our fuses literally blew probably every 10 minutes. And the goal is to expand the base a lot today for myself, while Logan explores a whole bunch, gets new resources, and finds new stuff for us, as that's kind of just the roles that we've fallen into as we started playing, and we both enjoy it.
Logan, we have unlimited power now.
From what?
We've got 225 watts of coal generation that is powering its own mining facility, and the water facilities are powered by their own coal mining facilities.
Shit.
We have unlimited fucking power. So, that's beautiful.
There's a couple things
Could
that
I
I
just
want to
build
get
transmission lines this far? What do you want to get done today?
done. The SAM node that's down in that cave, I want to get a miner on that. Just the same as what I did with the crystals, just something simple.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't know if we use it for other shit later on.
We don't use it for
But for right now, it's only for the skill trees.
Yes, we are currently producing 225 watts of unlimited power. Plus, we could still do biomass for parts of it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
So, this is gonna go...
So where's our end storage here?
The middle one. Okay, Logan, all production is back online, and we will never have a fuse blow unless we overload it again. We have unlimited power. Other than maybe on the copper. I still gotta run transmission lines to the copper, but I want to check what our current, like, usage is at. Okay, we're currently consuming 106 out of the 225. So we could more than double all the shit that we have and still be okay.
And boy, was I ready to double up what I wanted. Now, I had seen a couple videos on TikTok between our first day playing and our second day playing, and what I realized was people were utilizing the stackable conveyor belts in a much smarter and more space-efficient way than how we were doing it. And we didn't really have them yesterday, but we do have them now, or would be getting them soon, and it was something that I could plan the base around, as I had kind of seen it, and I had an idea. So I'm going to lay out the idea now, before it even starts to happen, and then you guys can see me evolve and figure out what I'm doing as it happens. So the idea is to have an input line all the way on one side of the base and an output line on the other side of the base. The output line flows back to storage and the input line flows out of storage. If the input line gets backed up or something's not using it, then the storage starts to fill up and the stuff that's making it can still put it in. The idea is that you run that around the entire base, and then if you are making anything at any part in the base, or if you are needing anything at any part in the base, you just put in a splitter or a merger and you change the speeds of the conveyor belts accordingly. As I learn about that stuff, it will get better, but that is how the idea of what I wanted to do worked, and you can do that with a giant wall of conveyor belts all the way around the entire thing. So that's the goal of what's happening, but at this point I don't really know how to do that, so I gotta figure it out as we go. But the first thing that I really want to do is, we clearly do not have enough plates, screws, any of that stuff, any of the iron produced stuff, so I think the best thing that I could possibly do would be to destroy our forge system from yesterday, make it bigger, make it better, make it stronger, and then slowly use the idea that I want as we slowly rebuild parts of the base. And it may seem a little bit repetitive, but most of this game is rebuilding stuff that you've already done, especially when you're doing it for the first time, as you learn how the game works, as you learn how the mechanics works, and as you learn better ways and more efficient ways to do things, alongside getting all of the new stuff from your upgrades that can help you get that done.
So, for vehicle transport, 400 sheets, which will be a minute.
At this point in time, I have clearly destroyed most of the forge setup from the previous day, and literally most of the input supply system for all of the ore, and all of the output system for everything that's been smelted that I already had. The goal here was to make a more organized, compact system, and though it was not the most efficient, which is what I would learn later, it did actually work for quite a while. The reason it's not the most efficient is because the way that a merger or a splitter works, pretty much if you put a bunch of them in a line, I mean, this is just basic math, but it's not something you think about when I was playing, and pretty much like if you have one merger and it's splitting into a forge, and then the next branch goes off to another merger, you're exponentially dropping the amount of ore that each one is reaching, and by the time if you put 100 mergers down, they're receiving a significantly lower portion of the ore than the first merger is receiving. The first forge, if it had access to infinitely just go as fast as it wanted, would be processing more than 50% of the entire natural resources coming into it, no matter how, or would be processing exactly 50%, no matter how many paths you had. Now, once they get backed up, they kind of even out, but it does take a while for that to start happening, so this is not technically the most efficient design I could have made, but it was way better than what we had yesterday. And now I was utilizing the stackable conveyor belts, and this is a much more, like I said, compact, efficient design than what we had yesterday, but it would just keep getting better. On top of this, though, Logan was doing his own side project. He had found the Awesome Sink and Awesome Shop, which were something that I had no interest or care about, but he did, and it was something that we had spent the time to unlock, and he was kind of doing research about it, and it looked like a points system that we could use to either get cosmetics or extra things. And since Logan was kind of already on the research trees and the exploration, he seemed like he was interested in it, so he just started doing it. His idea was actually brilliant, though. He went over, found a bunch of iron nodes that we weren't using, and started smelting, turning them into resources, and putting them on their own power grid, all so that they could dump into the Awesome Sink. This would make it so that we would start gaining coupons for the Awesome Shop. Now, I didn't know that at the time or what that meant, but this later down the line would prove to be one of the best things that ended up happening to our base, because we did not realize how difficult it was going to be to actually start getting those Awesome Shop tickets, and getting them this early was probably going to help us quite a bit.
Yeah, power may become an issue at some point.
Why?
I don't know, I just upgraded, like, the whole, like, smelting area. And it's so many more smelters, I'm worried that it may be too much for our new power grid. But we will see when I guess we'll see when I start it. But if it's not, I plan to upgrade the crafting area. And that may be the same shit. I have a question. How much stuff do you have over there?
A lot.
Like, wattage-wise, do you know how many watts you're consuming?
No, but it is a lot.
I'm wondering if we set up another oil one over or a coal one at our base, we might be able to run power lines to that out there.
Yeah.
So then it never goes down.
Have we unlocked that shit yet?
What?
The big power lines?
Not the big ones, no, but we still have our, like, just the regular power poles that just connect the grid together.
We have that tier, don't we?
I don't know.
That we can unlock it? I'm pretty sure it's tier 3 or 4.
Okay. Can look.
Which, if you want to do that one, we can do that one, because there's a bunch of power shit in there.
Yeah, I mean, we have the truck one. I already put the vehicular transport one on, but...
Yeah, it's tier 4, which is expand power infrastructure. Okay. Actually, we have everything to do this right now.
Do we?
Other than the modular frames. But I have the steel beams, I have the encased industrial beams, we have all the wire.
Okay.
All we need is modular frames. But it comes with power storage. Power storage, a power tower, and a power tower platform.
Oh, like you can, like, store power, like you can, like, make batteries pretty much?
It says connect to the power grid to store excess power produced. The store power can be harnessed if the power grid consumption exceeds production.
Nice.
So it's almost like a backup generator.
Yeah.
And as soon as we discussed that plan, we knew that that's likely what would be coming up next, and we would set it in motion very soon. I still had to fix the smelting / like constructing area that I wanted to finish. That way we would have an influx of resources while we were gone, figuring out how we were going to do an entire power system. But we were planning to do, and would end up doing, an entire power grid system that spanned much further than we ever thought that we were going to go. And obviously this is only the second day of us playing, so it's going to get a lot crazier than that. But Logan from exploring had access to a lot of other other resources that we did not yet have. A lot of things that he had found at crash sites were stuff that we couldn't make yet or weren't making yet, and stuff that we definitely did not have automated, even if we could go and make it ourselves. So him already having those made it so that we would be able to make this power grid system, but we still each had a little bit of things to do. So Logan actually hadn't set up the sink. He had decided not to dump the resources, but had instead turned those iron nodes into just a resource, like hammering out the resources that we needed the most, like plates, screws, and rods, and then he would dump it into the sink once we actually started looking at it. He got one single ticket and realized that nothing that was in there was more important than us having resources at the moment, and while it would likely be worth it later, we definitely weren't going to use it right now, but we had it set up. That being said, though, he was consuming a lot of power and I was running out fairly quickly, and yesterday we had set up about 2 or 3 of the power plants at our own base, and then 2 or 3 separate ones on different areas, but they weren't connected to the base. They were just separate areas to run the water pumps to push these ones back to base. If we unlocked this the way that we thought we could, not only could we connect to get the extra power from the pump ones that we had set up yesterday, but we would be able to possibly expand very, very far across the map to areas where coal and water were much more accessible than our base, and move all of that power back here and connecting it to an entire map-wide power grid system, which is not something that either of us really thought was going to be a part of what we were doing, but we were both pretty excited to get down to it.
There's another one 200 meters away from that one. Oh. This may be difficult.
Why?
It is not a straight shot from that coal coming back to the new plant. I'm either going to have to go around this massive, like, lake ravine. I don't know. This place is actually kind of cool, though. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is awesome, actually. It's a massive... It's really close to base, too. We could do something with water if you need it. Like, it's just a massive lake in the middle of, like, a ravine. It looks awesome.
You are not that close to base.
I'm not too far.
You're a lot further than the other water. No, we could do pipes from up there. Is it high up or low down?
Oh, very low.
Okay, we'd have
It's
to
in
do
like a
bunch of
ravine.
pumps. But if it's by the other coal, maybe we just use that for the arm. Here's what we do, right? We build a whole coal production system over there. We do we make the iron plant for like the armored plates. And we just make one long conveyor belt back that just runs iron plates. Like the fully finished ones.
Here, I'll mark this on maps. Actually, no, we
I
can see it
yeah,
on
you
maps.
can fucking see it. It's big.
It looks really cool, but I think that, yeah, this is the start to one of the jungle biomes. Now, the only thing that sucks is that coming from the iron to that lake, it's a massive cliff, so we'd have to build straight up. Which, I mean, it shouldn't be that bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, if we just do the, if we do the iron and coal, like if we just did the coal plant down by the lake, then we could just run a wire up the cliff edge.
Yeah.
Instead of the entire water pipe system and stuff. Do you see the new crafting and store or smelting area that is happening?
Honestly, not, damn.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that like 90% of everything at base I'm familiar, and then I saw that's new. There's another 2 iron nodes here.
When on your back, I'll show you what's
I'm back.
going on. Oh, where you at? Okay. So, all the ore gets put together right here.
Mm-hmm.
It goes... I gotta get on top. This is what I was talking about. So, like, they all sit together. This time, right here, they get split into 2 pieces. But, see, they just, like, kind of funnel into each area where they're needed at.
Yeah.
And then... Where you at?
Where are you at?
I ran down the conveyor belt. Right here.
No.
Here's salmon. And then that come out over here and they get put in the supply, like what gets supplied to shit. And then all of these get funneled into the crafters. And then it's still going up here. And then it goes on the other side, where it originally came in at, down like there, it starts going back into the chests. To the cables and the concrete. But now that it's like this, anytime we need a new resource, we just fucking stack another layer on top and let it go.
Now, it may seem from an outside perspective, especially if you have not played this game, like I skipped through a lot or didn't show a lot of that building process, but I promise, this is a fairly small building. A fairly, even like, inefficient, very, yes, small building. It's not going to be that big of a thing. But this was the entire framework for how a lot of our base would work all the way into the mid to late game. The idea, as I explained, things would flow in, things would go around the base. As they're needed, they're taken out. They flow through whatever is processing them, like the smelter or the constructor, and then back out as a fully finished resource that continues and goes back into the storage. And once it goes back into the storage, once that's needed for something, you just give it its own layer on top of the supply wall and you stack it all the way around just like it was. Now, obviously at some point this could become too tall or too unrealistic to keep building, but it would have to get really, really tall before it started doing that, and I'm sure by then we'll have another solution. Logan's adventure had yielded us a ton of different stuff though. I know you guys heard some of it, but let me explain all of it in detail and what it means for what we're getting done. So the first thing that's really, really big is Logan found that lake. Now, that lake is literally a huge deep lake with 4 coal nodes next to it. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday I was struggling to get the right amount of coal and the right amount of water to base. So if we could truly do as I was talking about, which would be to run a wire after producing power there, we wouldn't even just have to run it back to a like little base to make reinforced plates, but we could run it back to the main base and combine it with our current power grid. That's not to say that we won't produce any power here, but it could definitely outsource some of it to a place that's much better and much more efficient at making it. But that's going to be a lot of resources, and getting power back here is either going to be very expensive as far as researching the new power lines, or very expensive on using basic resources and the regular power lines to run it back here. Either way, it's going to be a bit insane. On top of that, Logan found a bunch of new biomes, got a bunch of new map exploration, and found some stuff that we really hadn't found yet. Stuff that would lead to researching guns, stuff that would lead to researching other weapons, and a bunch of materials and a bunch of later game things that we would get access to pretty early. So starting all of those skill trees now would be one of the most beneficial things, again, that happened to us, but it wouldn't really show up till later. Most of what you guys are going to see is going to be the work that I am doing for quite a while, but as we fall into the later game, you guys will start to see that everything that Logan has done is literally building the structure for what we need in the late game. Well, I'm building the structure for what we need in the right now early game. But now that all of the constructors are built and most of this stuff is built, yes, some of this area is still going to have to get filled, but everything is functioning as it was meant to. Most of the basic resources are happening, and now all I want to do is start working on the smart plates and some of the other like more advanced resources in the assemblers, and then as I start to run out of power, we will start worrying about where we want to go. Do we want to build more here at base? Do we want to go to that giant lake that Logan found? Or do we want to do something completely different? Maybe we find a way to get biomass or something like that more efficiently. But as soon as those assemblers go up, they're going to start pulling a lot of power. We're about to start unlocking a lot more logistics stuff and a lot more of like maybe better miners, better things that are better for us, but things that use more power and require a lot more on our power grid. So that's going to be stuff that starts to happen, but let me get these last bit of assemblers built, start getting the smart plates built, so that way we can start working on the space elevator again for the first time this episode, and start working towards that insane amount of 1,000 smart plates and the rest of the stuff that we need.
100 rotors, 50 of the cubes, I don't remember what those are. The modular frames, and a little bit of sulfur, and I unlock the experimental power generation.
It's terrifying sounding.
And it's in the sulfur area, so...
Nice.
So, in total, this iron farm has 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes, all in one single area.
Are we going to mention that I just added 4 more to our main base?
Oh, shit.
On a Mark II one with 12 smelters.
Oh wait, I forgot that the original reason I built this base was for the awesome shop.
Yeah, this is the type of game that you don't really remember what the fuck you built shit for. You're just...
Well, the question is, do we need all this iron?
Not
'Cause if not-
anymore.
I mean, if we don't need any of this iron, switch everything over to just be excess for the iron or for the awesome shop or for the sink.
Yeah.
Because it's not really producing that much.
Yippee. The fuck is this? What the shit? Logan.
Shut up.
Okay, you know when there's like, have you ever had your inventory full and you try and like, how is this happening? What is happening? If you ever had your inventory full and you try and like destroy something, it just makes a little crate on the ground.
Maybe?
So it makes like a little crate to like store the shit that you would have dropped. There's 1,000 rods and 1,000 plates in this one.
That's a lot.
What is that from? What the fuck was worth that much? I don't even begin to comprehend. I'm just gonna... What the fuck was worth that much shit?
This is very cool.
Hmm.
I love the awesome shop. We should have done this sooner.
Yeah?
So there's a special going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a schematic for 10 coupons. It is the factory cart.
Okay. What is the car?
It's a vehicle.
Oh.
And then in management, there's a conveyor wall mount, a conveyor ceiling mount, a conveyor wall hole, conveyor lift floor hole, and a conveyor throughput monitor. Organization, there's label signs.
Oh, I needed that shit. Oh,
There's
I needed that shit a
label
long time
signs,
ago.
display signs, and billboard signs. In Customizer, you can get different finishes. So you can get unpainted copper, chrome, carbon steel, and Caterium paint. You can get new foundations, a double ramp set, a half foundation set, stairs, multiple different quarter pipes, another different...
This bitch.
It's literally, you can make a whole bowl. Like there's 6 or 7 different quarter pipe schematics. Inverted corners, corner ramps, inverted ramps. There's new walls. There's conveyor walls, door walls. Oh, doors! Door walls.
Oh, dude,
gate,
buy the wall ones. Oh, we need walls.
gates, steel framed windows, windowed walls, tilted walls, ramp walls, and in architecture, we can get factory ladders, catwalks, elevators, roofs, pillars, like structural frames, a bunch of different ones, railings, road barriers, construction fences, ventilation. In equipment, we can get a coffee cup. And in parts, we can just buy any of the parts that we need. We can buy 100 rotors for 3 coupons, biofuel, biomass, fabric, black powder, silica, quartz crystal, concrete, wire, cable, copper sheet, and then all the normal. Oh, reinforced plates. You can get 100 of them for 3 coupons.
How much is 3 coupons?
I don't know. We get it from the sink, so they're made.
Start
I just don't know
making
how
some.
fast it makes them. Here, let me put some biofuel in the generator, and we'll see.
Now that the sink was finally going and the entire area that I wanted to create, at least for now, was completely done, it was time to get some of this stuff routed back to its final storage, like the smart plates and the other couple machines that I had over in this new area, and start working, or at least looking at, what it was going to take to build the transmission lines for any power that we wanted from a distant place to the base, and to see about creating power in other places for the first time in our server. Now, I'm sure this will become a normal thing at some point, but for right now, it was very new to us and something that I didn't even really know if it was going to be worth it. But the only way to find out is to head over there where Logan found a ton of coal. I think it was 4 different nodes, a giant deep lake, and I mean, at the minimum, we at least get to check out a cool new spot that we haven't gotten to see yet. But at the maximum, we could end up with more power than we already have at the entire base, which in the grand scheme of the entire game is not a lot, but for early game, we're actually not doing too bad.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to base and get some stuff, but I think I'm gonna set you up coal area. It'll, I can either... I think I'll just probably wait, like, we can get the transmission line one, and we can fucking just send power back from here rather than making the coal come back.
Yep.
But I want to see, with this much coal over here and this much water, I almost feel like we could send transmission lines back with, like, I don't know, fucking 10 plants over here that could power, like, both bases and add to the power grids. So, the expanded power infrastructure is going to be a while.
Yeah.
I can see, just because, I mean, we could still make it with what we have. I have a bunch of cables, but, actually, yeah, okay. So, I need encased steel, which is...
I have a good bit of it. How many do you need?
Oh, encased industrial beams.
I have that as well. How much is it?
50.
Check the personal chest. Actually, I have 100 encased industrial beams on me.
Okay, and then I need steel beams.
Steel beams are going to be back at base in one of the...
And then modular frames we can make.
I think there's a bunch in there as well. I'll bring back the... Actually, there might be encased beams in there. Like...
Hey, look, yeah, you have most of the shit for this.
Good thing I kept that shit.
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, I think all I need for that is modular frames. I don't know what it's going to be to actually craft them. And we might still need steel to craft them in the first place. But we can at least get it done.
You ready?
Wait, that is the cart? I really want to see what this looks like in multiplayer. Your bobblehead does not... Holy shit!
It whips!
Wait, let me get in that bitch. Come here. Oh my god. What? Oh! Fucking 360 that bitch.
I feel like this was just a fun item.
You can, like, a space break? Yes. You could fucking...
We could build a track. We could race the carts.
Oh my god, that is a fucking beautiful idea.
I'm buying the quarter pipes and shit.
Oh my god.
Actually, to keep that shit, I'm gonna go build the quarter pipes right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go buy it.
It's in a hole.
It's in a hole.
It fell in a hole. God damn. I'm so happy I just did this thing that I did. So, originally the only 2 resources I had, or the only 3 resources I had going all the way around were limestone and then the 2 copper and iron, right?
Yeah.
But I added plates going all the way around and nails going all the way around so that any part of that factory could access or put back into it. And the heavy plates that were going slow as shit before, they just made like 160 of them.
Damn.
I was trying to think. So I keep running into the problem that like, so like plates right now, they're not making fast enough. I have like 6 machines making plates, but I think it's just because they're not getting like the regular metal plates. I have like 12 smelters and 6 constructors making plates, and the plates are still just not getting to the other places fast enough. So I think it's because like the way that I'm doing it is I have a bunch of different like things splitting it, and I think it's splitting like, I think by the time you get to the end of the splitters, they're only getting like 0.5% of the metal, so they're not making very fast.
This is where I started to realize one of the really big problem solving and like entire logistics nightmares of this entire game. Not necessarily a nightmare created by the game, but one that's normally created by yourself and not understanding how the game works, at least in the beginning of playing it. As I played more, I learned that it didn't even matter if I had supply lines going all the way around the base if they couldn't properly or quickly supply the amount of stuff that I needed. So yes, I could have metal plates going all the way around the base with anything being able to pull them out when needed, but first the metal plates had to be getting made fast enough for it to be pulling all of those out. Then it had to be getting there fast enough to be pulling all of those out, which is what the conveyor belts would be used for, the better ones. And then every time that you add something that needs to use more of them, you likely have to up the production or up the speed of the conveyor belts, meaning by the time that you get to the end of this entire chain, you have to make a bunch more conveyor belts that are stacking on top of this. So maybe you have 2 plates, 2 sets of like 2 areas of plates that are coming into a storage crate and 2 that are coming out, which is what the industrial storage crates are for. We don't have those yet, but that's what they're for. We've seen them. And then, but like it does, the way that I want to do this works, having it go all the way around the base works, but it's not just as simple as if it goes around the base, everything has access to it and it all works perfectly. The things that have first access to it, kind of like how I explained the metal earlier, are always getting 50% of the plates. The next thing down the line gets 25%, the next thing down the line gets 12.5%, and then further down from there, all the way till you get to like the 10th split off, where you're literally getting 1% of the plates if all of them are constantly being sucked out because of the way that the mergers split. That being said, if I speed up the conveyor belts beforehand or up the production going into each thing, then I will have the ability to actually use the amount that I need or that I'm trying to use. The only solution to this, in my mind at least, is to take the things that are really being used and make sure that they have their own production areas that can be expanded with the expansion of the factory. So in this case scenario right now, plates is our biggest consumed thing. So what I'm going to do is use this big flat area over here to make an area that is just for plates that expands like to our north, and that can be pretty much infinitely expanded. I mean, obviously not infinitely, but it can be expanded to meet our needs for quite a long time. If I make it like that, and then we ever need to add more conveyor belts, add anything like that, we just stack them on top, we redo the supply line, or another layer of the supply line to the rest of the base, and we just keep adding more smelters and more ore coming into it. It's not going to be perfectly easy, but it's going to make it possible to actually, like I said, deal with the logistics nightmare that me not knowing how to play this game has created. So that is what each of these is going to be for, but I also want you guys to know that this is not going to be the last one of these sections. As different resources start to pop up throughout the game, or as they start to get used, maybe screws start to get used more, we'll make a screw section. Maybe the steel beams, maybe those are used a lot, we'll make those their own section. But the idea is still to have this giant, it's not giant yet, but it's gonna be, wall of conveyor belts around the whole base that provide access to everything. It's just a little more complicated than I originally thought it was going to be.
I'm pushing over my Mac. I could actually blow a fuse over here right now, which is really scary. If everything pushed at the exact same time, I'd have a problem. My max out is 302.
Because there's a bunch of electronic stuff. I wonder if you can set things to work on like different
Timers.
Like timers.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I have 2 assemblers, and I could run them off of one generator, but I can't because they're gonna hit at the same time.
Yeah. Remember when I asked how laggy do you think this game could get?
Oh, and it ain't even close.
I know.
It ain't close to its final form.
You don't see what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, I'm starting to dive into the intricacies that you started doing yesterday.
Dude.
And I'm relatively losing my mind.
It's fucking great.
I love it though. Like once it clicks, like once everything finally clicks and everything's working, it's like it's one of the best feelings.
Yeah, but then you realize you don't have enough fucking power and your fuse goes out and then you just cry.
Yeah, and then you restart. And then you get that feeling again once you're done for the next 2 seconds until something else breaks.
After a while of dealing with some technical difficulties, we had probably the best thing that we've ever built in the entire game of Satisfactory. We built a skate park for the mini factory cars. Now, we had the option to get the quarter pipes from the awesome shop and the awesome sync tickets, and it was literally the best thing ever. Logan just decided to build it, and he told me he was building me a surprise because I don't know if I talk about this much on my channel, but I am an avid skate park enjoyer in real life, so, you know, if you built this for me, that was pretty sick of him. And we both just drove the cars around that for a little bit, and this is something that will likely persist in our world for the entirety of it. It may get moved at some point if we ever build out this far, but otherwise I would like to keep it and maybe even have a couple more of them. Now, there are other things that will be coming like this, but this is definitely the first look at like some of the stupid stuff you can build in this game. It's not geared as much towards like production and, you know, making a factory, but much more just having fun with your friends. After the skate park shenanigans, I decided it was time to actually and finally build the little plate system and like the big section for the plates that I was talking about earlier. As I said, I'd like to, with as many resources as I can that are really highly used in our factory, as that evolves, as whatever that means evolves throughout the different like stages of the game, add special areas for producing the most used things. Right now that is plates. So I organized like 16 smelters and constructors to make plates, and only plates with their own supply line of ore and their own supply line back to the storage that would give them like complete access to do as much as they could. On top of that, it was an added 2 more of the steam power plants that gave us another, I think, 150 watts, pushing us up to a now 450 on our power grid and maxing out the water supply system, as well as I had to pull the coal all the way from the original water plant that I had because the coal over here was not enough to power all 5 of these. But that is where I am currently at, getting the plates set up, getting everything like ready for this like new system of trying to incorporate special sections for different resources, and then expanding the wall to include more of those resources so that way they can be accessed by more of the factory as we start to expand it this episode and later into next episode.
Okay. Logan, our power grid over here is putting out 450. Okay, dude, the thing I've been working on for 4 hours is done. Which is plate manufacturing. The basic and like second tier resources are completely done and automated over here now. Rotors, smart plates, reinforced plates. There's a few of them being made, and then like screws, concrete, and rods and shit. There's a lot being made. Okay, so this is all the shit that was here, right? Are you behind me?
Where are you, fucker?
What?
I'm on top of one of the smelters. I don't know where you are.
Further down.
Oh, I see you. I don't think that's me, because I just put shit into all mine.
Oh, this is what I just made. These are all making plates.
What?
Come look on top. Look down here. These are all making plates.
Oh, fuck.
Look at the line going back.
Fantastic.
And there's 2 more generators down here. Okay, I'm gonna work on, but what I can do, I can configure these to make anything. So like I could make screws or pipes with these. I think I'm gonna make, not these 2, but some of them I'm gonna have make pipes. And I'm gonna work on those frames.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna get the power infrastructure, and I'm gonna go build a big ass power plant by the coal nodes. How many do we need?
Yes.
40. Let's see.
Oh, this is the last part to tier 3.
Oh, damn.
And we've got expanded power done, tier 4 done.
And then I'm working on the fucking smart plates and shit, so.
Actually, there's a couple of these in tier 4 I think we could get done. Like now, I think I have some of that shit.
What is it? We needed. Oh, Logan, do you see what's in advanced steel?
Boundary to start steel production. Project
What?
number 2.
Miner Mark II?
Framework can only be via automation, not
An automated
managed.
wiring.
Delivering these
We need that.
to
That's
elevators
for
is essential if we are
part
going to
project
complete
3.
I
phase 2 of
see.
project assembly
We can also make
and
hyper
planning.
tubes.
Fix it, and humanity is relying on you.
Yeah, a lot of these ones in tier 4 we need the steel for, which we'll work on here in a second.
Oh, conveyor belt Mark 3s, 270 resources a minute.
God damn. Okay, so what I want to do, foundry. All right. Do you have more modular box things?
I have 2 of them.
Oh, fuck me.
I have 1, but my machine's making them as we speak. Which one are we going for? Blueprints, the logistics, advanced steel, or hypertubes?
Let me look at what they take. Just go ahead and do advanced steel because we need the encased industrial shit for most of the other ones.
As much as we were excited for the new things that we had and to make the basic steel production, to start working towards the advanced steel production and start doing everything else that was leading us towards the space elevator phase 2 completion, one of the biggest things that was leading our problems was power. Not necessarily my problems as the base that I was kind of building, that I will start referring to probably as my base, was pretty much on the coal power and had no problems. But I was going to need more for the foundries and for the assemblers that were going to make the steel things. On top of that though, Logan's electricity system actually gave me a headache. There was about 30 biomass generators, some of which were connected, some of which were not, and then they were not all connected to like things that were using them. I'm not going to say correctly, but like efficiently. So the idea was I would run over, we got the extended power lines, which can go 300 meters on the big like power poles, and then I would run those all the way to the lake. He made me some of the modular frames and some of the other stuff that I needed for the actual like steam power plants, and then from there I could not only run it back to my like side of the base, but I could also run it back to Logan's side of the base, help him redo parts of his electrical, and actually make it more of a power grid rather than a system that was relying on so many different generators. That being said though, over here is going to be a big project, and it will probably expand a lot as we get better, like as we get the miner Mark II, as we get the conveyor belt Mark IIIs, all of the stuff that help us get coal and water into those intakes for those steam powered power plants are going to be, as those show up, we're going to just start hammering out as many of these as we can. We need power in this base. But there were so many fuses shutting off so often and so much stuff was getting stopped that Logan was trying to do, and then I was trying to help him with it, that I figured it would probably be better for both of us. I just went ahead and came over here and started doing the power line system, and learning how these power lines work and getting used to doing like cross map power systems is going to be probably the way that most of our other stuff goes, and so this is like the nice little entry course on how to do it.
Power lines?
They are all the way over to the coal and water area now.
How cheap are they?
They're 20 per tower. There's 20 steel per tower, but the towers can reach 300 meters.
Damn.
They can go far. So I gotta build something over here, but it's over here now. I need rotors and steel, the reinforced plates. And then I also need...
Let me switch my shit to reinforced plates for you.
Thank you, sir. This is gonna be like, I'm gonna set up a whole fucking power grid over here.
So, did you find all 4?
All for what?
Or you're at the coal, right?
Yeah, I saw the ones that were under the fucking shit.
Yeah, so there's that one, and then there's 2 more to the right of it.
Okay. I didn't see the 2, I just saw 1, but...
They're really close. I think there might be 5 over there, I don't remember.
There's a lot. Is there scary stuff in the water, Logan?
Sometimes there's spiders. But other than that, no.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you do platform? It's the same price.
Well, the other ones
Just added feature.
the other ones looked a little cooler, but
Oh.
just because I didn't have it, but it's all right. Yeah, I think one more trip over here and our new power will be ready to connect to. Alright, Logan, connect your shit to the power grid.
What do I connect to it?
So the... Okay, actually, I'm gonna come over there and do the electrical.
No, I got it. I got it.
Okay, because everything at that base should be all connected together.
Understood.
So do that, and then get him out to that main power thing.
Does this just take normal power lines?
Yeah. If you do it from the bottom. Five consuming. We'll see if this produces enough to hold you over for a bit, because I am already using over 100 here. You said they're using 50 each?
No, not each. Just two
Total?
or three of them.
All right, we'll see.
I have 13. Goes up to about 205 max.
Yeah, our max consumption. Did you just connect it? Yes, you did. Max consumption is 350. So that's how much you could be consuming if everything was running at the same time.
Everything is running.
Yeah, but like, if everything hits at the same time while overclocked, like if everything hits at the same time, it'll pull 350.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Would you be willing to bring me the reinforced plates? And you can come see the power plant?
Let me collect them all.
So we have 5 going. There's about to be 6 more added to it. So we'll be pumping like 700, and then we'll connect it to base that's already at 400. We have 1100.
Are you not using these ones yet?
Not yet. About to.
I don't remember if there was more.
There's 4 total. There's the one that's covered.
No, I mean, I think there was some more back behind it.
They're 1,000 meters away.
Oh, okay.
All right, Logan, we're outputting 825.
Beautiful.
Now for the last part or two of this that needs to happen. Okay, is this all going okay? Holy shit. All right, we're sitting at 1,200. Our max consumption is not even 800. Now, after the founders go up, it's going to be high, because the founders take 20 on base. But it's pretty fucking solid.
After a long day of building, cleaning up our power supply system, and getting an actually decent, like, little starter factory up compared to what we started with today after 15 hours of playing, I decided that it was time to have some fun. I was grabbing one of the tractors, which we had not driven yet, and Logan was building a racetrack that would both include the tractors and the little mini cars so that we could have fun, drive around, and enjoy the last little bit of our day. Also, kind of, not as like an AFK, but like kind of just let the factory run on its own for a little bit. Now that the power was somewhat sustainable to where it wouldn't be like a problem and where it wouldn't go out while we were doing other stuff, we could have a little bit more fun for a second.
What the? Is that the tractor?
Yeah, look at this bitch.
That's awesome. Might have to race with those.
Dude, can you imagine like a monster truck track? You're kind of making one. I think we race with both. Wait, Logan, you know the GTA Transform races?
Oh no.
I feel like we leave this halfway and we have to get to it and then switch to it.
Understand.
I did not
Oh,
make it.
this part is definitely for the little cars.
Well, yeah, also I can't fucking fit in there.
Damn! You killed me!
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
I just knocked you over. Dude, your car went fucking flying.
There's something
There you go.
going on. Oh, I'm in it.
Are you doing both or just little car race?
I'm trying to do both here, but there's no...
They're fucking
These
huge.
tractors can't do loop-de-loops. I've been trying real hard to figure out how to make a loop-de-loop.
Bro's
And it
getting
don't
practicing
work.
on the track. This is bullshit.
Hey, I'm playtesting.
No, I know.
Oh, I figured it out.
How to
Alright.
loop-de-loop a
Tractors.
tractor.
Is it like a loop-de-loop, but not really a loop-de-loop?
Okay.
It's like half a loop-de-loop.
Oh my god, bro. Wait, what the fuck are these conveyor belts? No.
That's the part that I haven't fully tested yet. So we'll figure out if it's possible.
Okay.
So there's that. Are you ready?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what the fuck is that shit? I already didn't make the jump.
What?
I got like stuck at the bottom of the ramp.
Oh, wait.
Okay. How do I can't, I gotta pick it up 1 sec. Bro, I fucking like hit the I like clipped on the bottom of the ramp. Hi.
You know.
I really wish you could ride it while it was just down like that. No! Yes.
Oh no! No!
Uh. No! So what do you... Is there a way to get back? If you fall off the
Yeah,
conveyor?
Oh fuck! I got stuck. Just go to your right.
No, it's so hard to turn that fast.
Ooh, come on! So close. What the fuck?
I was trying to see if I could like knock you off somehow.
Yeah. I'll wait for you at the tractus.
This is like fucking Monster Jam.
Fuck.
You built it in with the rock?
Fuck! I'm stuck.
Can we please set this to autopilot this course? They're just constantly burning fuel doing this. Oh, that's great.
I wanted to add more on the monster truck, but the area with the conveyor belt was supposed to be for the monster truck without the conveyor belts.
Yeah.
And I switched it because I thought of that idea.
All right,
and I
now
was
that
like,
we've tried it, now we do it.
okay, let me grab the cart.
After the fun little race shenanigans, I ended up going and replacing and expanding and doing as much as I could to make the resource wall and supply line to everything and from everything to make it as efficient as possible. Well, I don't know about as efficient, but as accessible for every resource as possible. Around the entire base, much larger, including from our new foundries, steel pipes, screws, metal plates, and I even think cables and wires as well as concrete. Some of this stuff will not get used for a while, but having its access all around the base is going to mean that whenever we do get the resources or whenever we do need to start making things like the encased beams, that it will be fairly easy to incorporate it and just pick an area to build it in, throw the resources off the wall with the splitter, and then we'll be solid and ready to go. I do definitely need to, if I want this to be as efficient as I want it to be, start expanding these to Mark II or even Mark III conveyor belts, as they are not catching up. Some of the ones that are more used are not catching up nearly as easily when it comes to actually getting the resources to where they need to go once it gets closer to the end of the supply chain. But if they were like Mark III, it would be much easier, or if there was even just 3 separate conveyor belts for a certain resource that was being used a lot. But that would mean more storage, which I also expanded. Instead instead of having three tall storage boxes for just a few of them, we ended up expanding that all the way across the middle. And while it probably won't stay there because it's not super like infinitely expandable or very future proof, it is definitely good for now, and I don't have to worry about it for a little bit. That being said, most of the rest of the night was dedicated to making a little bit of a new assembly area for some of the more advanced stuff using the steel, getting the entire like conveyor belt wall built around the base, and making sure that everything that I put together today was at least as polished as I was planning to have it for a while, just to make sure that I didn't forget a part of it or have to deal with something tomorrow, as I would likely forget what I was supposed to be doing.
Alright, that's been made more efficient. Okay, miner 2, we need the casing shit. Where do you make that at, and what the fuck is that?
We need the what?
It's like cased iron or something like that.
Oh, encased industrial beams.
Yeah.
I have a bunch. How much do you need?
I'm just looking like what I need to start producing.
Oh. I'm doing Mark 3 right now.
Yes! What does that take? Oh, I guess
It's
you can't
done.
see. Okay. I meant like, what is the... Damn, that was fucking... Oh, it just takes steel beams. Oh, dude, and I just upgraded the steel beam production.
Provide the obviously necessary tools for improving your current.
Holy shit. Okay, we got alternate recipes.
Yep.
We can either do steel rotors, which only produce one more per minute. Buttons, I don't like that. Instead of the iron pipes and the screws to make the rotors,
Yep.
it's now wire and steel pipes.
Might be good if we
And
had
the-
more steel pipes, but we don't.
The other one intrigues me a little bit.
Okay.
It's wet concrete. So normally to make concrete, it's 3 of the stone,
Yeah.
but now it's going to be 6.
Okay.
But it's 6 stones and water. I don't 100% know what that means.
That means we'd have to have one of those pure water things at base to make concrete.
Oh. But instead of the normal 15 per minute, it jumps up to 80.
That is pretty good. I'm down to try it.
I mean, I can
Figure it out.
rescan. We can get some else.
Yeah, rescan. See if there's better
Alright.
ones.
So we got an alternate to concrete, or to charcoal.
Is charcoal what we need for gunpowder?
Really no. It's literally just one wood. Damn, 150 per minute.
What is it? One wood?
Yeah, one wood.
And then is
So
charcoal
it's
what we need
alternate-
for gunpowder?
I don't know. It looks like coal.
Oh, wait. Can we make coal?
Yeah, for one wood.
Yeah.
150 per minute.
Yeah, we can do that. I could live with
The
that.
other one.
Yeah.
The other one is the encased industrial pipes.
Oh, what is
So-
the change?
All it changes is instead of using steel pipes to make it, you use steel beams.
Wait, don't you already use steel beams?
No, you use steel pipes.
You use steel beams and 6 concrete. To make encased beams?
Yeah, encased industrial beam.
Yeah, it's 3 steel beam and 6 concrete. I'm like in the... I'm in
Oh,
the...
so it switches to pipe. So it goes from the... Okay.
I'm down. Actually, I'm down for that one. I'm down
So
for
pipe
either.
instead
Yeah.
of the beams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can do... Right now I have beams and pipes over here, so I can put one on one and one on the other and make them way quicker.
Okay.
So we'll do... this one will... Why did I not get it? Oh, there we go. Okay. Alternate. So this one will take pipes. This one will take beams.
Oh, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a real nice alternate right here.
What is it?
Iron pipes. Instead or steel pipes. So instead of using steel, I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
So the normal amount of steel, 3 steel ingots to make steel pipes. The alternate is 20 iron ingots. But you do go from 20 to 25 per minute.
20 iron ingots for steel pipes?
Yeah, instead of the 3.
That'll also make us make beams faster, though. Because we won't be using as much coal.
Yeah.
Let's try it. I'll throw some shit up for that.
Actually, hold on.
Holy shit, then there was me. So just so you guys are like aware, I know I said at the beginning like addicting, and this has been a little bit of a slower video. And so, you know, for you guys may not see the addiction quite as much, but I promise it's there, because this is the end of day 2 of playing for us. Which is just, I feel like we've done so much. I'll do an hour count at the end of this just to give an idea of like how long we spent in the first 2 days. But it's ridiculous. Again though, it's a good game, and if you want a calming game to play, I don't know if I know a better one. Like, this gives me a feeling that no game has given me in a very long time. Like, this gives me the feeling I used to get when I used to be sitting on my bedroom floor as like a 14-year-old playing Ark, a 12-year-old playing Ark. Like, this gives me a feeling that I had for... This gives me the feeling that made me want to start YouTube when I was a kid, and made me want to play games and, like, make that what I, you know, make YouTube videos and share it with other people. And, like, it's been a long time since I've had that feeling. And most of the time, you know, it's kind of, like, half nostalgic, but it's not nostalgic for something that I'm doing. It's nostalgic for the way I feel about what I'm doing. And this is doing it right now. I'm gonna get the... Oh, fuck me. I'm gonna get these put up, and then I'll do my little hour count like I said I would. And I will likely also go to sleep, because it is very fucking late. It is 4 in the morning. It's very early, I guess. And, probably played for like 12 hours today, so it has been absolutely ridiculous. But the entire idea, so I was talking to Logan today, right when we got on. Let's get away from the machines. And, the idea of what I told him was like, I felt like there's no way to prepare for this game, because you'd never know what direction stuff's going to come from, or how you're going to want to do something later, and you're always going to kind of get better at planning how to do it. So what I wanted to build, obviously there's some sections that I had to build separate from this idea, like the one that does the metal plates, because the metal plates are freaking ridiculous and we need a lot of them. But the general idea was build something that you could infinitely just keep adding to, and every time you got, like, just keep it around the entire base, and every time you got something new that needed to go into it or pull from any resource that we have at our base, it would be able to just be pulled from that point. You wouldn't have to build anything new for that each time that you needed something. And then the idea was also that when stuff gets stuck, stuff stops being made. So we have it run through the containers first after each individual item is made, and then back out the other side, so that if something stops, or if production stops, or if it's like right now, metal plates aren't moving, but the metal plates are still moving back there because they're stacking up in the container. Then maybe the metal plates go down later, or we're pulling an excess amount of them, and the chest starts to get empty, or we need them for something that's outside of the production line. We can do that. So that was like, that was the two big things, was leave like a buffer, which is what this is. That's why it does what it does. And then also make sure that it goes in a specific way that makes sense for, like, you could take in or take out anywhere around the entire map. So, like, anywhere around this entire map, you can get concrete out. Now, that may not seem like that cool, because obviously we don't need concrete anywhere but over here. But if we add a back layer to this, which I might plan to do other than maybe those rocks, we can just pull from it. Or maybe I even add a branch that goes out that way. We can just pull from the top and pull from every single resource that we have in storage and just bring a wall with us. Now, the only thing that I've had problems with is when you split things, it slows stuff down. So if I were to split the concrete up there, that concrete's going to get there half as fast, and then it's going to get split into 2 parts over there, and then that stuff starts making really, really slowly no matter how fast this stuff is coming in. However, what you can do is use the Mark II, Mark I, Mark III, the different, like, I haven't used the Mark IIIs yet, but the Mark I and Mark II are what's being used right now, of the elevators and these. So the main supply line will be as high as we can, just pushing stuff through constantly. And then the branches that come off of that will be a tier lower. The branches that come off of those will be a tier lower, all the way down to tier 1. And then if it gets to the point where we need something really, really crazy like metal plates, we may build a second tier for it and then run the same process again. Just because, you know, obviously that's how it would work. But honestly, right now, the only other thing that I want to do tomorrow, maybe down here or somewhere else, I guess we need coal for it. Maybe back this way towards where there's more coal. I want to start building more transmission lines to more of our stuff. Pretty much just expand the power grid. Do what I did today over at that new place and just expand the power grid. But yeah, it's been insane. I mean, we have a fucking skate park and a racetrack. A very crazy base. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight, at least. Maybe not for your guys' video. Before, real quick, I know audio's off and stuff, and I'm paused, but real quick, how much have I spent? So, we bought this, oh my god. We bought this yesterday afternoon at 2 p.m. It was a Friday, so we bought Friday afternoon, we bought it like 2 or 3 p.m. We started playing at like 4. It's now 4 a.m. the next day. So like 36 hours later, and I have 26 hours of playtime, which is insane. This game is too much. If you guys have shit to do, maybe don't play this, not because it's a bad game, but because of the time consumption. Oh my god, and it's not even like that grindy, it's just fun. It's just cool to do. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Holy shit. That was a lot. Satisfactory is amazing and also terrifying at the same time. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm currently trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers, and if you guys could help me get there, that would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give me any feedback if you haven't, and I do truly hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.